Hey, so you want to become a tattooist? Well, if that's the case, then you really can't afford not to watch this video to the very end. Hey, welcome back to the channel. Whether you're new to this channel or not, let me introduce myself and explain all you need to know about how to become a tattoo artist within the next 12 months. Then you can decide for yourself why you need to listen to me and follow along with my method of learning how to tattoo. Okay, so as most of you already know, I'm Ben Fisher. I'm the owner and tattoo artist right here at Inkbrush. I first opened my shop back in August 2013, and although it's a huge success now, it wasn't at the beginning. In fact, for the first few years I struggled to make ends meet, and even keeping the shop afloat sometimes seemed difficult. Like many of you watching, I learned how to tattoo at home and didn't have the traditional style apprenticeship that many people think is the only way to become a tattooist. I did actually go around my local tattoo shops looking for an apprenticeship. However, the majority of artists didn't even give me the time of day, and the ones that did wanted me to work in the shop, basically cleaning and setting up for a year or two before I actually started to learn how to tattoo. Well, like most people that I know, that wasn't an option for me. I had bills to pay, I needed money to live and to support my kids. So I decided to learn myself. I tried looking for online tattoo courses that would teach me everything that I needed to know and that I could learn in my own time. There wasn't a lot to choose from, and to be honest, at that time I couldn't afford any of them. They were really expensive, and after looking into a few courses that seemed to be most legitimate, I found that they were only a matter of weeks long. Well, there's one thing that I wasn't, and that was stupid. I'd never tattooed, but I knew that it took longer than just a few weeks to learn how to tattoo correctly and to have the confidence to go out into the world and tattoo real people that only wanted the best tattoos on them for the rest of their lives. I started learning on YouTube by watching free content, just like you're doing right now, and I did well. I'd watch videos on shading and then I'd practice them. I watched tons of portrait lessons and then I'd try and imitate what that artist did. And I stuck to this method of learning until that I felt I had the skills to open my own shop. And so in August 2013, that's exactly what I did. I closed my property renovation business and jumped into the tattoo industry with 2 feet. And wow, I got shock of my life. No one had ever heard of me. No one had ever seen me work. And lo and behold, I got very little to no customers at all. However, I didn't want to quit on my dream job and dream lifestyle. So I started doing free tattoos on friends and family so I could post the photos and hope that that'd bring in just a few customers. And it did to a small extent. For the next 3 years, I had good stints and bad stints, but never really took the business off like I planned to initially. Then something clicked in my head and it completely turned my business around. Over the next few months, my business completely transformed. My name spread across industry and customers were literally travelling from one end of the country to the other just to get tattooed by me. I moved shop at this stage to a better location that made it easier for people to commute, and for the next few years my business just kept growing at this fast pace, and before I knew it I had a full diary and we're at the stage that worrying about finances or when my next customer had walked through the door had completely disappeared. I'd then reached my goal. I was living exactly as I'd planned, tattooing morning till night every day of the week if that's what I wanted. In fact, I had to make a conscious decision to remind myself to have days off, and it were at this stage that I'd reached the top that I started to feel fed up. I couldn't tattoo any more than what I was. That were impossible. There's only 7 days a week which everybody gets, and I were working all of them, and I put that down to one thing: And that's, instead of focusing on different areas all at once, I structured my learning to a process where one thing led on to the next. And that's exactly what I want you to do. I want to give people the opportunity that I didn't have available to me. And so for the next few years I started planning a course that would teach people how to tattoo in a structured way. Something that no one had ever seen before. The skills that every world-class artist used broken down into small enough bite-sized chunks that anybody can follow and eventually be able to tattoo at that level. I've spent countless hours moving sections of the course around because I knew that skills need to be learned where one skill naturally progresses onto the next, just like building a house. Getting a strong foundation and then building on that one layer at a time until it becomes a home. And that's exactly what I've produced for you. Now please, this isn't a sales pitch. You can subscribe to my channel and go over to my playlist and watch the first 30 days of the course completely free of charge. Then if you're happy with how fast you're improving, then it's your decision to go find out about the paid version that's over 6 months of day-by-day lessons in a structured way where one lesson naturally progresses onto the next. You literally go from never holding a machine to being able to do world-class portraits at the end of the course. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you over at the very first lesson. Speak soon.